Yeah! River school in session!
Oh, baby!
Yeah!
Woo!
Mississippi mud and a heavy rod bend. Red River seams where the currents blend. At Jambalaya, deep holes round the bend.
There you. Oh my God! Yes, that is the picture right
All right,
there.
he's going back.
Open bay to anchor set. Show you the knots you won't forget. Learn that water. Read that bank. Creole and Tank. Reads it pattern. Read this pattern. No guessing blank. Couldn't that link if you want to rank. Creole and Tank.
Well, we got one more record to make. State record.
Woo!
Love it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome, episode 3 of Bon PECHE. I'm Creole, Jeremy. This is my brother Tank,
Tank.
tournament partner in the guide service, partner in fishing, all around. Just
Shenanigans. Don't forget the shenanigans.
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me my camera's like halfway my face? That looked terrible.
Come on, man. You
You could have told me. You could have told me something.
You got to tighten up. You got to.
Okay. All right. I have Restream, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube all up. I am monitoring literally everything right now.
We are not going to leave anybody out this week. It was brought to our attention that TikTok basically got ignored last show, and I apologize for that. I got y'all covered this time. So anybody watching on TikTok, y'all got questions, we got you.
Yeah, I can see my own face. Like our stream, I'm looking at it literally 4 different times across my 2 monitors.
Yeah, I've got it like right there. Cool. So, first segment, as always, this week in catfishing. What we got going on this week?
Not
Now.
a whole lot of super fancy stuff going on, but there's a couple of things that we do want to bring up.
I heard there was a really big fish that got caught this past week.
Oh, I was going to talk about that one. Actually, I'm still going to talk about that one second.
Right.
You're not going to change my plans.
Hey, go
Let's
for
see.
it.
First, I want to bring up the WOTS tournament series, WOTTS, and you can find them on Facebook
Yeah, baby.
with periods between each one. It's an acronym.
It is.
They're setting up for the Dock Demon tournament, which is an absolute blast every year. They catch big fish on Dock Demons. It's an online tournament. Here's the dates. Holler out to WOTS or Lisa Swain or Randy Swain or one of us if you just need to get in contact with somebody. It is an absolute blast watching people fight fish on those Dock Demons every year.
And you know, you always have a group of people that really challenge themselves on like current speed and size of fish. It is very entertaining.
Yeah, I highly suggest join it, do it, or at least watch it. It's an absolute blast.
100%.
I guess I'll talk about the fish.
Yeah, talk about the fish.
What we have here,
That's a big one.
this is Josh Wilson with a 93-pound blue cat. They didn't send it in. I was just perusing Facebook and this came across, so I saved the picture and wanted to give them a shout out.
Definitely worth mentioning. You know, anytime somebody catches a fish that big, it is worth mentioning because I don't care where you are. That is a stud. That is a huge fish.
Look at the big. I love just how healthy these giant fish are.
Yep.
Like, look at that big gut. You can see his hand going into it.
Mm-hmm.
He's straining to hold this thing up. Like that picture, you could tell they were going, take it.
Yep. Nice shiny coat. That's the picture of health right there. Good.
Yeah, that's just a great picture too.
I mean, I don't know if it's a lake fish or a river fish, but it's a wild fish, and that's what we like.
If somebody in chat knows some more about the fish, feel free to bring it up. I literally know the guy's name, and I took and Twisted Cat Outdoors had posted the picture, and I just took it from there. That's all I know.
Yep. So the idea for this week's show, as the title implies, fishing for ghosts.
Are you saying we're going to school?
It is time. We are going to school. It is that time. It is definitely that time.
I'm not. If I'm gonna take the time to make my graphics, we're gonna use them.
Yeah, right. So that term, that's something that was told to me quite a few years ago, and that's basically the bad habit of fishing a spot just because you caught a big fish there 17 years ago one time.
Right.
You just kind of keep going back to that spot, and that's why you justify it is, oh, my grandpa caught a 60 back there back in 1953, and that's why I fish here. It's like, things change.
Not necessarily saying that you shouldn't go back to quality spots,
right?
But what you got to remember with that in particular is, why did your grandpa catch one there in 1963? Did he get just absolute lightning struck lucky, or are there reasons why there's big fish holding there? And instead of just assuming it, you've got to figure out, why are fish there and why are they still there?
Right. So that's kind of what we wanted this show to be about, was what are some habits, not necessarily good ones, that may be preventing you from stepping up your game, whether it be more fish, bigger fish, to be more consistent. What are some of those things that get in our way of being more successful?
Before we get too far into that, I want to bring something up real quick on the back end. We know that people are talking about flipping top that bottle key is okay. Yeah, Richard's saying flipping it is good. Yeah, that was my idea, Richard. We're not going to be highlighting comments because people were telling us about the vertical, and whoever's on the bottom has chat over their face.
Yes.
So for this week, we're going to try to flip it, but we're working on some technical fixes. And if you've heard of OBS, that might be one of them, but we're working on some background technical fixes to increase our production quality and get around that.
Yes.
So if you have ideas or notice things, feel free to send them to us. But for now, we're going to deal with this right now until we figure out a whole new system.
Yeah, right. 100%. So, again, the title, Fishing for Ghosts. It's just that glorious habit of, hey, I've caught a big fish here once, and I'm going to keep fishing here until I catch another big fish.
We've all done it.
Right. We've all done it. I'm guilty of it too. But it sounds simple, but you've got to fish where the fish are. I mean, no kidding, right? But now I'll speak for this from a boat standpoint. Is
reel in the point there, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going to reel in the point. This is from a boat standpoint. The bank guys got to do things a little different, but I look for good areas. I look for bait in the area. And I try to look for fish on my sonar. I don't want to just throw a bait and hope fish are there. I want to have some confidence of throwing my bait at fish. And when you get really proficient at using the graph, you'll start being able to tell how big the fish are, a general size. And sometimes you can judge activity level by what you're seeing, but you have the confidence that you're throwing bait in front of fish instead of just throwing stuff out there and hoping.
And if you don't have the ability to use sonar, let's say you can't afford one, you don't know how to read it, whatever it is, it's possible. There's other things you can do. One of my favorite things, Jeremy knows, is I find the birds. If I'm fishing around birds, Jeremy knows I'm happy. Why? Because the pelicans where we fish sit on top of shad, where the catfish below the shad.
Yep.
So and there's been many trips where I say, hey, there's pelicans over there. We go look and there's fish. So there's other ways you can do it, judging the rivers, seeing bait, things. Yeah. Sometimes a big rolling gar will do it for us. But whatever you can do to say there is activity in an active ecosystem here, even if you don't have a graph.
Yep.
Don't just throw into dead water and there's nothing nowhere around.
So bad habit number 2. And this is a big one. And again, I'm a little more speaking to boat guys on this, but I'll get into what this means for bank guys as well. Staying in one spot too long. Okay.
Right.
Now, if you're out to have just a relaxing day on the water and that is your main goal, then by all means, anchor up, kick your feet up, take you a nap, you do your thing.
We call it the John Cyclone. He's been there. He's done that.
Yeah.
He's caught the big fish. He's tournament fished. He don't care. He has a spot. He can go anchor up for 8 hours straight, take a nap, and catch some fish. If that's your goal, by all means.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. Because fishing with John is a blast because of it. It's
Right.
so relaxing.
You know, I'm not one to. What happened? I was trying to switch. There we go. I'm
We
not,
must have both been doing it at the
yeah,
same time.
we were both doing it. I am not one to rain on anybody's parade. If you are satisfied with the fish you're catching, with what you're doing, how you're doing it, if you are satisfied with your experience fishing, then you don't need to watch today's show.
Oh, wait, is that
I'm
your
not
client for
gonna-
tomorrow?
Was that?
Is that your client for tomorrow?
Yes. Hey, Jenny, what's
Hey.
going on, man? That's my dad. That is my. We bring in the whole family fishing tomorrow. Thanks for stopping.
Oh, really?
in, brother.
All the sons are coming?
Yeah,
I think you had said?
everybody's. Oh, it's going to be a hoot. I'm so excited.
Nice. The weather looks amazing.
I'm so excited. But yeah, I mean that's if you're happy with what you're doing, don't let me tell you that it's wrong. Okay, I'm speaking to the people who want something more. Do you want bigger? Do you want more consistent? Do you anything? That's who we're talking to. If you're happy, don't let anybody tell you that you're wrong. Trust me.
Yeah. If the things you're doing are making you currently happy, keep doing them.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
If you ask, how can I increase my catches in size? Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah, right. So staying in one spot for too long. I have seen many times mark fish, get above them, throw baits at them. I'm happy with the size. I'm happy with the number of fish I've marked. I'm throwing baits at them. In my boat, the clock is ticking, depending on time of year, water temperature, what I see. That could be for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour that I'm going to give that spot to give those fish time to get on my baits. After an hour, in my mind, those are not active fish. I'm going to first pick up and I'm going to rescan the area. They may have moved off. Fish don't stay in one spot for a week at a time. Sometimes they don't stay there for an hour at a time. You know, I've set up on fish, not caught anything, go rescan. There's nothing there. They've moved on.
I think last weekend we scanned fish, said, let's scan this other spot and come back. By the time we came back, this was maybe 10, 15 minutes. They were gone.
Yep. They were
Stuff happens.
Yeah, they were just gone. And sometimes you can't explain some of these things, but you know, if you're not getting bit, change location. You know, change your bait. Change now. For bank anglers, you can't just pick up and move as easily as us boat guys can do. Well, it's simple. You know, maybe bring your baits in a couple of feet. Take your lines, recast them, different positions, swap your baits out. You know, maybe slide up and down the bank a couple 100 feet, 100 yards, something like that, back and forth. Just you can still reposition yourself in the spot you're fishing without having to pack up all your stuff and move half a mile down the river.
And see, we had you answered a comment that was on Twitter. I don't know, well, not Twitter, TikTok. Did you see it when you said that?
Actually, no, I did not.
Oh, because we have Mike. He usually runs 3 different kinds of rigs, casts in 3 different directions on the river. Because he had commented,
yes,
for boats it's true, for bank you have to wait. Yeah, all the timings definitely change, and there's a lot more waiting, a lot more patient on the bank. Because I've done a lot of bank fishing before Jeremy bought a boat. Like all over. And like he said, you can walk down the bank, be in a different spot. It's a lot smaller changes, but on the bank, you're still changing something to be like, let me throw a little closer in the current, out the current. There's things you can do.
Now, again, let's talk to the bank anglers for a second. There is way more to it than just chunking baits out in the middle of that river and hoping something runs by. There's a lot of research you can do. Navionics, Google Earth Pro, look and see where those likely travel routes are. Put yourself in a position where fish are going to likely move through the area. You might not be trying to hit fish on the head like I am in the boat, but if you're good at reading the river, looking at those current seams, and of course it all takes bank access. You're limited by that.
Right.
But you can still increase your odds by having some confidence that you're putting those baits in those travel routes. And you may have to spend more time, but you're in a high percentage area that the fish are likely to travel, that much more opportunity for the fish to swim through your baits. It takes a little moving, a little nudging, some recasting, but you can make that happen.
And Mike, yeah, he said he's 100% bank fisherman. Let's see. He just said, I'll normally put one close as I can to the bank in a, I think he meant to say channel, or chuck one to the middle.
Yeah.
So yeah, you cast in different places. And if you want some bank specific advice, I highly suggest my two favorite people is some of RCT's pro staff, Danny Stone Outdoors and Parker Pursuits, Jerry Parker.
Absolutely.
They pull a lot of absolute monsters from the bank consistently.
And
they have the knack for it.
They put a lot of science into what they do. They really do. They're very good at explaining exactly why they're sitting in that spot at that given time of year, at that given river level. They do a great job of explaining why. And that's why they consistently catch fish, because they have their certain spots that they know are good in certain situations, in certain times of year. See, now you're not fishing for ghost anymore. Now you're fishing a pattern. You're fishing a known pattern that produces day in, day out, year in, year out. It's something that's repeatable.
Where's your waters at? What's your home waters, Mike? He said he's consistently pulling in 70, 80 pounders. 100% bank guy.
Come on now.
No, that is tickle me impressed. Like that
I think
is amazing.
That's pictures we need to show on the This Week in Catfishing. You know what I mean?
Send me some of that. I'll show them right now if you find my Facebook and get them to me.
Yeah. Heck yeah, absolutely.
But it can be done.
Absolutely can be done.
Just because it's boat advice, it just needs to be adjusted for the bank.
Right. Yeah. You just have to in general, if you're bank fishing, you are fishing for traveling fish. You want the fish to run into your baits. Whereas, at least my method of fishing in the boat, I'm bringing my baits to the fish.
Wait, he said you and him's been following each other for 7 years. It's Mike Forgotten Soul 76.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been knowing Mike for Mike, what, 5-6 years now? It's been a while. He's one of the.
Yeah, he said 7 years.
Yeah, well, that's about right. It's been quite a minute.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got him on Facebook and everything. That's right.
Oh, okay. Mike Stokes Outdoor. Oh, okay. Now that's starting to. Okay, that rings a bell now.
Right. Well,
it takes me forever to recognize a name.
All the different screen names kind of get you jumbled up, you know.
Yeah. The next thing, and this is something Jeremy knows I fuss at him about all the time, is thinking outside the box. And you know where I'll go with this. I'm not going to just straight fuss at you.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
Just because. Okay, I'll use you as an example. Good. My favorite one. We both learned from this. Me and Jeremy love bumping. We know our area and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
One day we said, the water's too cold. I think the bumping season's done. Left the bumping rods home. Somebody else that we know came, slowly back bounced, did some bumping, and caught, 270s that day and tore up the big fish.
Yeah.
And I looked at Jeremy and I said, never again will we make an assumption.
That leads into the third big mistake is getting yourself in a routine that leads to complacency, and it leads to just doing the same old thing over and over and over and over, and not starting from scratch every time you plan a trip and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Because look, there was a couple of weeks in a row that I just made the assumption that it wasn't going to work, and I left them at home, and I got outfished a couple of weekends in a row in my home waters. So I'm like, Okay, yeah, we need to, and I'm not too proud to admit that either. I got
Was it
absolutely outfished.
last week or 2 weeks ago? We were kind of struggling. We found some fish, but Dustin Clark found them in a spot that we hardly ever even look.
Yeah.
He thought to go look. He found some good ones.
Yeah, it's a spot that I drive by all the time and just kind of don't. It's like I fished it a couple of times a couple of years ago and didn't catch anything. So in my mind, I wrote it off, and that's why I've talked to other people that come from out of town to come fish our area. I always say that I want to see my spot through their eyes because I want to see what I've been driving by that I'm not looking at just because I've got my blinders on going down the river. I want to get to my spots, and who knows what I'm passing up.
We've honestly learned a lot. There's more and more people fishing our spots, our home water, but it's the public, so whatever.
Yeah.
We've learned a lot from those people, and they're all friends.
Yeah.
And they're in a spot we're like, what are they doing right there? And then they send us pictures after the day, and we're like, well, apparently they knew something we didn't.
That's what they were doing there. And that also comes down to different styles of fishing. Real good example. I'm the type that if the fish aren't active, I'm going to give them a little bit of time and then I'm going to move on. I'm going to go find active fish. Another style of doing things, especially when you mark some big fish, is simply stay on them, stay on those fish and keep working those baits, keep working those fish until they bite. That's how some of those big fish were caught that particular weekend. While I was running around trying to locate active fish, they just stayed on them until they bit. And you know what? The gamble paid off. They put some good fish in the boat that weekend.
And back to the last point, Danny Stone comes in. Most effective method from the bank is the swing rod. Throw it in the fastest current, let the bait go where it wants to go, and wherever it stops and lies down, that's probably where the fish are waiting anyway.
That right there is effective from the boat. I'm gonna let you do it because we both did it. That is an effective method from the bank and the boat. There's a lot of times I'm throwing swing rods out of my boat because I want to help pin those baits against that ledge. That's caught me a lot of fish.
Yeah. So in general, just when I put it as think outside the box is just because it's worked 100 times before, maybe today that's not going to work and something else will. You have to think if you're not catching and you're trying to find them, what's the pattern? What's the bait? Okay, what's something we haven't done before? Because, for example, Creole Catfishing, the boat now has planer board racks and multiple sets of planer boards on it. Are we dragging? Nope. We're learning how to use them in anchoring positions for a wide spread. We'll go over that technique later one day, but it's a whole new thing to us, and it's been working.
Yeah. Yeah, that has absolutely been. I'm gonna let you do it again. I keep dubbing. I'm not touching the mouse anymore. I'm messing stuff up.
Sometimes I forget too.
Yeah, it'd be all right. Yeah, and look,
I think the fans will forgive us.
Yeah, they'll forgive us. Yeah, a very good technique that I've finally picked up, and I knew the technique existed. I just didn't have the boards to do it. And a very good friend of mine, who happens to be in chat, JR Fishing, they helped me out with the technique and got me in touch with Wes of Spread 'em Planer Boards. Had some discussions, and I got
the what river? Did you sneeze when you were typing?
I'm going to say maybe Kaskaskia, maybe, and he typed a J instead. There's got to be.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna need some explanation on that one. All right, go on. I got distracted.
That's what I'm gonna say, Kaskaskia. Yeah, somebody correct me on that one. But Wes helped me a lot, getting me the products I needed to do exactly what I wanted to do, and that also goes into it. Another tip here: have the right gear to do exactly what you want to do to be successful. Very aggravating to fight trying to do something and you really don't have the right gear to do what you want to do.
A simple example that we learned ourselves, and we're getting better at it. One of the few techniques where the rod you're using actually matters is bumping, because you need the sensitivity.
Absolutely, it does.
The one we use, the Ancient Mariner, I'll suggest it, but I'm not going to go in depth.
Right.
But a better bumping rod can actually catch you more fish. Anchoring rods, it's mostly pick your preference. There's a lot of good rods out there. Some will, we have our favorites. There's the ones that we go with our pro staff and everything, and we love those. They're our favorite.
Right.
But you walk up with something else. I'm not going to throw out all the companies, but you walk up with another company, it's like that rod will catch fish.
Got a couple of new people on I got a shout out an old high school buddy of mine, Albert Wall. What's going on, man? I see he joined on Facebook. I hadn't seen that dude in years.
Yeah, J.R. Hall popped up on Facebook too.
What's happening? Well, now we got some famous people in the show. That's what.
If y'all see my head going back and forth, it's because I like Facebook's over here,
right?
YouTube's here. I got TikTok over here.
Yeah,
and they're all going right now.
Yeah, I've got Facebook and YouTube comments here, and I've got TikTok like down here. Like I keep having to look down at my phone to make sure I'm
because for some reason we're using Restream, and Restream does not it conglomerates chats, but it doesn't work for TikTok.
Yeah, we found that out the hard way last week. So what other let's maybe dial it down a little bit. Let's get specific. What are some other maybe nasty little habits that people don't realize they're doing wrong that may affect the fish they catch? My number one thing on that, if you were going to be specific, and it's something that I feel has vastly improved the quality of fish that we have caught consistently, is the absolute commitment to using fresh bait. And I mean fresh, either late that evening or first thing that morning.
And yes, I'll cut him off. Disclaimer, not everybody has the physical ability to get it. We understand. We'll get to you. We'll get to you.
Right. That is the thing. Don't get me wrong, but that is the commitment to using fresh caught bait has vastly improved the average size of fish that we catch. 100%. I know not everybody, it's not easy for everybody, especially like the bank guys, but if you can do it and make that commitment,
it's fresh as possible.
Yes.
If the best you can do is buying some frozen skipjack off of some fishermen and places, then that's the best you can do. Just do the best you can. The worst you can do is buying those little packaged dry freeze shad in the catfish section in Walmart.
Oh my God. I
can't catch a fish on one of those.
The red shad. And look, I'm gonna make a statement here, and it's gonna, possibly upset maybe some people, but trying
to move you again.
I got it.
Oh God.
I got it. Okay. Here we go. I'm talking to the people who want to catch bigger fish. Okay. Get ready for this.
Define bigger if needed.
Bigger as in the top 10% size of fish in your body of water. How about that? Okay.
That works.
You're trying to go for the biggest your body of water has to offer. Leave the chicken livers at home.
Yeah.
Leave the chicken breast at home. Leave the little store-bought shiners at home. Big fish eat fish.
Oh, Greg, I've figured out exactly how to do that and all. If you want to talk to us using planer boards from the bank.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely works. Definitely works.
Yes. And I know, and look, don't get me wrong. I know Grandpa caught a 75 off of a chicken liver, back after World War II.
Or like Mike said, supposedly the world record's caught off of chicken. Now, what we're trying to say is
that's one fish.
Can you catch a lightning strike or win the lottery and catch a gigantic fish off of a piece of liver?
Right.
It can happen. But if you, and I know, I'll bring up Tim Scott. If you know Tim Epic Scott, because that's the big thing he says, consistently give your best opportunity, highest percentage chance of making that happen. Go for the freshest bait possible.
Absolutely. Look, a blind hog will find an acorn every now and then. You know,
A blind hog?
a
What?
blind hog will find an acorn every now and then. And look, I've got a broken clock. It's right twice a day. But that does
Yeah.
not mean just because somebody somewhere caught a big fish on chicken or caught it on chicken livers or caught it on, hot dogs soaked in coffee or whatever you want to.
We have caught big fish, relatively big. Like we're up to like what, 40 pounds? I think we caught a couple 50-so's on chicken breast. We've done it.
The biggest fish I have ever caught on chicken was a 52-pound blue bumping. And it was a complete accident because I wanted to practice a certain method that I wanted to see if it worked, and I didn't want to bump with no bait on the hook. All I had was some Jello chicken because we were catching dinks at the other dam to bring home. So I said, you know what?
This was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. And that's all I had. That's all I had. And I'm convinced that I hit that.
You got Lyle to speak up on the chicken part.
Oh,
Chat blew up when you
Lyle
talk down chicken. Chat blew up.
I'm convinced that I hit that fish in the lips with that piece of chicken, and I made him mad, and he bit the hook. I'm convinced that that's what happened.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we said, because there's always somebody that's like, but I've done it. You can do it. And that's one of my biggest things. You don't have access to a place. I'm doing fingers below the camera. You don't have access to a place. You can't get fresh shad. None of your stores sell frozen bait. You can't get anything. Like, there's no bait. What can you use? Sure. Go get some chicken breasts, buy a box of earthworms. I've caught a bunch of fish off of chicken breast and or earthworms. If there's nothing else to do, you'll catch something.
Yes.
But if you were trying to catch, like in our waters, we have 100+ pound fish.
Yes.
In our waters. If we want to catch them consistently, there is not chicken and earthworms in the Creole boat because we're going after the biggest of the big in the area.
Right.
It's a mindset difference and a difference on goals.
And look, don't get me wrong. This whole fresh bait thing,
I'm switching you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I need to quit touching the mouse. I'm just screwing everything up.
We're just going to fight with it all show. That'll be the theme.
It is quite the commitment to just say to go on the water and not have any bait with you. It is a commitment. There's been some times you can ask him here that we fought for 3-4 hours trying to catch a little bit of fresh bait to go fishing. But
describe us hurting mullet. Just for the links, we'll go for fresh bait. Just give it 30 seconds.
Okay. 30-second version. I will actually now keep in mind this is happening in 2-3 foot of water, but I will beach my boat and I will get off on the bank and hold my cast net in knee deep of water. Andrew takes my boat, makes a circle, gets in about 1.5 foot of water with the trolling motor and starts banging on the bottom of the boat. And he's
singing.
He's herding mullet towards me. And when they get close enough, I'll hit them with the cast net.
Danny Stone knows we're not lying because we did this for bait for the Vicksburg tournament for a little while.
Yes, 100%. And keep in mind, you're doing it when it's 100 degrees outside. This don't happen.
This was miserable.
Yeah, it was absolutely miserable. But you know what? We did what we had to do to try to get fresh bait. It's tough sometimes. Oh man, it's tough. Man, pulling that pack of frozen bait out the fridge, the morning of it's comfortable. Don't get me wrong. But there's been a lot of times fishing when the bite is tough that frozen bait has cost me some fish.
And that's kind of the point I have on my list over here is what I wrote is big fish do different things than small fish.
Yes.
So whatever size category you're currently catching, and this is kind of the bad habit, is if you want to catch either more fish or bigger fish, you want to change what you're doing and you want more quality and quantity, you have to change tactics.
Yeah.
You can't do the same things and expect different results.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like that was a good phrase. I should just leave it there. But that goes for all. If you're catching 10s and you want to catch 20s, you're catching 80s and you want to catch 100s. It basically, if you want to go up a size category,
right,
you have to change tactics and ideas, and sometimes drastically.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Sometimes it's just a matter of, and I'm not touching again. I'm not. I'm not touching anymore. Something that Epic and others have always put into my head is really big fish, and I mean like 70 plus,
Like
huge
state
fish.
record size stuff.
State record size fish. Okay, like slobs of fish. They just behave differently. Sometimes you've got to just completely get out of your head
Evening.
and do something and do things different. And sometimes, because I get asked this by people who know me personally, like, well, man, how in the world do y'all catch all those big fish all the time? I said, well, it's real simple. Look at it from a deer hunting perspective. Every deer hunter out there wants to kill a 12 point. And that's what everybody wants. But are you willing to let every 10 point and under walk to get that 12 point? Sometimes that's just what we're doing is mark 40, 50-pound fish on sonar and say, no, that's not quite what I'm looking for. Let's move on. Let's see if we can do better.
The guide clients last weekend said they want a monster. He actually challenged Jeremy for a 50 plus. The first spot we scanned for the day, we saw a pile of 30s and kept going. No joke. We just passed up. One of those marks was close. It was like, that's a good mark. It was at least a pile of 30 40s.
Yeah.
We straight passed over them because client wants a monster. We're finding a monster.
Now, we ended up settling for those fish later on in the trip.
We did.
I do have to note because it was tough. Oh my God, it was tough. We had that bad weather front coming through. I ended up settling for those smaller fish I had marked earlier in the day.
But that's the risk we take on to ourselves. If a client says, or me and Jeremy go out and we say we're monster hunting, that's the risk we take on.
And I will try my best to do that for that person, And hey, for me fishing, I swing for the fence every time I go out. Sometimes I strike out, sometimes I hit it over the fence. It just depends, but I'm always swinging for it. I just can't do anything less for myself.
Y'all never know the number of times me and Creole struck out before there was YouTube cameras in our faces. Woo.
Oh yeah. Oh my
God. I want to bring up, I think it'll be time for one last one, is a bad habit is comfort. Quit fishing where it's comfortable. A few ways, I'll let Jeremy come back. There's a few ways to do it. Are you hunting shade? Or my favorite, and it annoys me because Jeremy will do it sometimes. I'll do it sometimes, and then we'll fuss at each other. Oh, we're getting hung up. It's so difficult. Oh, we can't get baits down. We're going to have to move. Oh, the current's messed up. We can't. No, there's fish there. Put a bait in their face. Before I rant, I'll let Jeremy extrapolate on that stuff.
That goes to my philosophy of once you locate fish or locate where you think fish should be, if you're a bank angler and you're just trying to get out to where you got a good travel route, the only thought in your mind should be, how do I put a bait in front of those fish?
And sometimes that is a difficult question.
Yeah, sometimes you really got to scratch your head and say, how in the world am I going to put my boat right there? Or how in the world am I going to cast a bank pole over there and not, sometimes you got to commit to, well, something's either going to bite or I'm going to lose my rig.
And sometimes you get the feeling of this seems stupid. But if you catch a fish, it ain't stupid no more.
Right. It is not stupid anymore. And I've done some really weird things with my boat, with boat positioning, to try to get myself in a place where I can put a bait in front of that fish. That is the only thing that matters. Putting bait in front of the fish. If you are fishing for your comfort and thinking about that second, then you are not fishing to your full potential.
I know we have some bass fishermen. The wind's blowing. Which bank you fish? The wind-blown bank. Because the algae's there, therefore the bait's there, therefore the bass are there. Right. Catfish are kind of the same way. Is it comfortable to fish that blank? No. Yes. But that's where you do. Where me and Jeremy fish, there's rocks, there's trees, like whole big trees, there's revetment. We have lost, I don't know how many pounds and dollars of rigs and lead down there. And everybody that's been in our area knows all the spots I'm talking about. But every time the fish are right in those spots. if we're not getting hung up, we're not catching fish in our area. That's just the way it is.
I could sink a battleship with the lead I have lost in the infamous barbed wire fence in our bumping spot. But
there's a few, I think there's a couple in chat, but everybody that's come to fish the area that with us or on their own, they see that spot and end up messaging a picture to us like, oh my God, what is that? I don't know, but it's bad. There's fish behind it though.
Ask Roger and Jackie about the barbed wire fence. You know, ask Freddie and Chris and Nina and Telly about the barbed wire fence.
Or when the Tholes went there and then they called you about it later.
Yeah, they were like, "How do y'all fish that?" I'm like, "Man, you just got to know where it is." You know,
very carefully. And there's some other areas, and everybody has those spots, but even when brim fishing, you're brim fishing, they're behind the tree, they're behind the log.
Yeah.
If it's easy to get to, there's not fish there. That's my rule.
Probably not.
Okay. Except for Lance's king salmon spot because it's on a pier and they're right there. Okay. Except for Lance's spot.
Lance is always the exception. You notice that?
Every time.
It's fine. It's fine. Well, you're probably not comfortable because there's 1,500 other people on that pier. So how about that? You're still not comfortable.
If the only thing we didn't say is if you want to say something about the time of year, that's the only other written down thing I had.
Time of year basically, and I for me, I attribute that to water temperature and what the river is doing at that point. No, everybody knows I'm a river guy. It's you just have to think about things differently based on water temperature and depending on what the water's doing. You can't fish the same spots the same way year round because the way fish relate to that spot is going to change. They may not be in that spot at all unless it's a very short window, short time of the year. You know, I've got a lot of spots like that to where, you know, it's no use I stop and fish there certain times a year because they're just not going to be there. You know, certain things, and that's another point about noticing patterns, paying attention to what you see around you at all times. There's a pattern to everything. And if you notice, hey, I caught fish here. Well, the river was rising and it was trashy, and you pay attention to what was going on when you caught those fish. Before you know it, a pattern starts emerging. That's where a lot of guys take notes. You know, they got notebooks of, you know, this thick on observations like that.
There's entire apps and websites for that.
There is.
They're just to write down. There's a way. I told you about this a while back, but there's a thing you can put it on your rod. When you catch a fish, and it was bass fishermen I saw this from, you press a button. It records the location, everything about the current water stage, river stage, the weather patterns, like automatic information gathering, just a gigantic list when you hit that button and use it to pattern.
That's crazy.
That was a Lake Fork guy who was testing it out one day. This was years ago when I saw the video. I was like, that's insane. But
I mean, yeah, if you really want to get that technical with it, sure. And look, the technology is there these days. You know, if you really want to make that investment in these different technologies and do these things, hey, it's there.
Or Jeremy has a notebook in his phone for at what river stage or certain boat ramps and weirs in or out of the water.
Yep.
Just little things like that.
Yep. I have a running list of just certain things that happen at certain river stages. Like, you know, just like he said, access to certain boat ramps, because around our area, there's a lot of little lakes and things that are on the outer banks that when the river gets to a certain stage, the river will start flooding into these little lakes and inlets and things. And I have a bunch of notes made as to what river stages those things happen, because it just creates certain situations that we look forward to.
Yeah, some really fun stuff.
Exactly.
But I think we're getting time for the tackle box.
I like it.
All right, this week on the tackle box, what weird thing about this picture are we going to notice today?
Besides the fact that, like, I look old.
No, that's not a picture of you. Okay, what I noticed this time is the rod on the very top of it, right?
Right.
What's coming out the back of that rod? It doesn't have a reel. It just
I
has
don't know.
doodads coming out the rod.
It looks like. Does anybody remember the Popeil pocket fisherman? That's what that looks like.
Yes.
I'm showing my age here, but yeah,
It does.
That's what
Like,
that looks
I'm
like.
telling you, I used Chat GPT for this picture, and it was on something this day. I'm telling you.
yeah. He keeps sending me different versions of these pictures, and it just gets more weird by the moment. I'm like, you know what? Look, before this thing goes off the rails, here, use that one. You're good.
Like, the more I look at that picture, it's just, oh my God. I don't know what's going on, but hey, I'm not an artist. I rely on other stuff.
You can't unsee it.
But we talked a lot about bait.
We did.
So, Creole, what's in your boat? What's helped us get bait recently?
My probably number one weapon, especially this time of year, that the shad are still deep. They haven't moved to shallow water yet. Is a really, really good quality taped cast net. That has been an absolute game changer of mine for getting fresh bait easily whenever I want.
What is Jerry doing?
That is
He's catching sturgeon.
That is a sturgeon.
He's also in a boat, which is kind of weird.
I know. I'm still not used to seeing Jerry in a boat.
But okay, he just sent that in our pro staff chat. I thought I'd share with everybody.
But yeah, cast net.
All right.
Look, there's lots of good ones out there. The one I happen to use is by Mega Spreader Cast Nets. Excellent tape net, tough as nails. I have caught many gar in the net and have not ripped it to shreds. That's impressive for me. But a good quality cast net, because I can't speak enough for having the right net for the job.
Even if you're having trouble getting good throws, a better cast net actually helps.
It will.
Believe it or not. It's easier to throw a better cast net.
Yep, it is. And practicing with that net, getting proficient with it, getting better at it.
See, the next thing, very general, but we're talking about bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
In general, we're talking electronics and technology.
Right.
Some people, even us in other days, Jeremy's had to come out the Stone Age, and me from our old habits. Learn, if you have it, if it's available to you. Not everybody is. If you can't afford it, you don't want it, just ignore me for a few minutes. If you have good electronics available to you,
yes,
learn to use them well.
Yes,
learn to use the information they give you. I'll ask Jeremy, what's my number one thing? If you ask me if I had to buy something to catch a lot of catfish, a technology thing, what would I buy? It's one thing.
You always say that if we had to get rid of every piece of technology on the boat except for one, that you'd keep that spot lock trolling motor on there.
Spot lock trolling motor.
Man.
Not because of ease. The things that trolling motor can do has put us on more fish.
Yeah.
But just things like that. If you want to, like our friend Dustin is using live scope on our home waters.
Yep.
We have been learning a lot from Dustin live scoping and telling us about some of the fish patterns.
Yep.
And it just learn to use the technology available to you.
Yep. No, okay. Now, hey, you ready for me to anger some more people?
Oh Lord.
Being you mentioned live scope. Okay, here it is. Live on the record. Even though I don't have it on my boat, I am a huge fan of live scope. And I'll tell you why. I think there is no better educational tool to study fish behavior and the way fish react to a bait than live scope.
Yep.
You heard me say it.
It's a tool.
It's a tool.
And yeah, I'll say the argument for a second, but it's cheating. You still have to learn to use it. Is it easier? I don't know. Ask me and Jeremy's dad if dad's watching. He'll never figure out how to use live scope. To him, it would be the hardest thing in the world. He can't read the side scan.
Right.
It's just not in his generation, and he's not good with that kind of thing. But he'll be the first one to read the river like old school and know where stuff is.
That is a skill in itself.
It's a different skill.
You know what? That's a great show idea. And y'all can blow me up in chat if y'all want, but I think just a show of just reading the river, I think that needs to happen.
Oh, that's going to happen.
I really think that needs to happen. So what else?
Let's see.
What else can we talk about?
Quality gear. Be prepared.
Hang on, I'm gonna put you up top of this.
Well, usually in the tackle box, this is my opportunity because we do have people.
Yes, we do.
If you go to rivercatstackle.com, Ancient Mariner, buy you some creature leaders, get you some monster rod holders,
Yes, sir.
and put all of that in a boat that you bought from Holloway Marine and Outdoor.
Get you some spread on plane aboard.
And if you can't do all of that, contact Creole's Guide Service, and we have all that for you. We'll just put you on some fish. I just NASCAR'd that one.
Yeah, you did.
Hot.
Wow.
I'm so proud of myself right now.
That was the Ricky Bobby sponsor shout out right there.
But all jokes aside, whoever your favorites are, those are our favorites, and we will suggest them.
Right.
If you want to catch especially bigger fish, more fish, have quality stuff from your hooks. There's German alloy, River Cats tackle hooks, and then there's the rest. There's line. Make sure your line's up to snuff. Make sure your rod and your reel can handle whatever the biggest fish in your water is. Make sure your rod and reel can handle that. Get it to the boat.
Yep.
Make sure your boat is safe for the water you're fishing.
Yes.
If you're on the bank, make sure you have good, proper bank rod holders. What's the ones Jerry uses all the time? Because Jerry and Danny.
Takedown rod holders.
I keep meaning to get some myself, but dude, those are so much better than just laying your rod in the rocks.
Oh my God.
So many things we can mention, but just in general, the tackle box is quality stuff to be prepared, because it is the worst feeling in the world to get what might be, and we've all been in this situation, what might be the biggest fish you've ever caught, and you never even get to see what it looks like.
Yeah, because especially when we were first getting started, we lost. Thankfully, we haven't lost any really big fish in a very long time, but we've lost some big ones because of cheap little plastic rod holders. We've lost them because of cheap rods. We've lost them because of just not checking lines.
You did that 2 weeks ago. He called me while on the water, mad because he lost the fish because he should have checked his main line. It happens.
Question from Facebook. View on Minotaur hooks. I have never used Minotaur hooks. I've never had my hands on them. So I kind of can't give you an honest opinion of them because I've never touched one in my career. I use the hooks I use, River Cats tackle hooks, the German alloys. I use those for very simple reason because I'm willing to stake my reputation on the quality of them. I can't speak for the quality of any hook that I've never held in my hand.
I've held Minotaurs. They feel all right, but I have not put them on a rod and fished with them.
Yeah,
so
and I'm not going to sit there and tell you they're good or bad of something that I've never used in my career. That I'm not going to do.
Yeah, and Gabe's actually on TikTok and mentions the giant at the hydro that he lost, back then it was because I think it was a B&M bumping rod,
a B&M bumping rod, and an Ambassador 5600 reel.
It wasn't ready to catch what a lot of experts really believe would have been our first 100-pound plus.
Yeah. And
it was in some thick stuff, and Gabe just could not get that fish off the bottom. Eventually,
we hooked that fish below one of the outlet turbines, and every time we try to get him up, he would hit that fast current in that turbine and go right back down again. We couldn't get him up through it to get him out.
I like the B&M bumping rod for the price it's in. I like it.
Absolutely.
But for that situation, that should have been a heavy anchoring rod. The wrong gear.
No, right there, we just been shooting at a battleship with a 22. That's about, that ain't bad situation to have that rod in. I mean, what are you gonna do? You bring a knife to a gunfight, and that's what's gonna happen.
Hey. Yeah, well, you get us on live scope. You get me on live scope. It's gonna light up. It's gonna be, what is that on?
The problem is I would be too busy just staring at the screen, watching the fish, and being just mesmerized. I would forget about actually putting a bait in front of them.
Yeah, but when we say be prepared, we're not saying the most expensive. Nope. Just because it's most expensive, that does not necessarily mean it's the best.
Nope.
Shipping costs come. There's a whole lot of things. But besides that,
Checking your gear before you go out.
yeah,
Just
some
going
things you can
over
do for free.
everything. Yeah.
Make sure your gears are in proper working order. Do they need
Yes.
to be? Watch, I'll move myself. Do they
Make
need to be
sure-
lubed? Lube is cheap. Does something need to be cleaned? Is your main line have dings on it? Do you really know how to tie that snell knot? Is it gonna come loose? Or are you using the wrong knot? Or a knot that's just weak? Do you not know what a snell knot is? Well, bring that up and we'll teach it to you, because you need to be using a snell knot on your circle hooks.
Yep.
And that's free. That's just a technique. That's free to do.
Yeah.
Just be ready for it. If you're looking for the biggest fish you've ever caught, whether the biggest you've ever caught is 10 or 100, you need to just be ready for that moment and be confident that if it happens today, we're ready.
Because honestly, I mean, look, the 100 we caught, that's been what, a year now that we caught that.
It was a year in December. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. A little over a year. Look, I tell this story all the time that we almost didn't even go fishing that day because the conditions were just horrible. The only reason we went fishing is because at the time I was working a job that I worked a lot of weekends. I did not know when my next weekend off would be, and I hated not to go and then work the next 3 weekends in a row. So I said, you know what? We're going to go anyway. And look, lo and behold, you just never know.
Besides the 100-pounder, we would have caught 2 or 3 fish all under like 15.
Yeah.
When we fish in our spots, 15 and under is like,
that
is not what we want.
Right. And
it was a terrible day.
In my spot, anything under 20 is a dink. That's just how it is where I fish. That's just
but if the biggest fish, where you fish, the biggest fish is 10, be proud of your 10.
Absolutely.
That's a big thing I say.
Absolutely.
I was trying to switch me. I have caught 101-pound fish. I am the first person that I will say, if it's your PB, be proud. I don't care what the number is. I don't care if it's 0.3. If it's your best, I'm pointing like this. I'm angry. If it's your best, be proud of that fish.
Don't let nobody fish shame you.
Especially if you're fishing in an area that doesn't have bigger fish.
Right. Right.
Be proud of what you have accomplished.
100%. There's guys up north that they don't even have blues. But guess what? You can go get a 30-pound channel cat. I can't get that here.
Oh, I'd lose my mind for a 30-pound channel.
My God. Oh, I know. See, and Lila's still in here, so I had to kind of nip him on that one a little bit because Lila loves him some big channel cats.
I'd love to catch big channel cats.
And we just don't have them here. The biggest channel I've ever caught is like 4 pounds. We just don't.
I have no idea.
I can't tell you the last time I've caught a channel cat in the river, like in public waters. It's been years.
On a rod and reel.
Yeah.
I've helped that with his hoop nets. That's a different story.
It's been a couple years. It's been a couple years. Oh, well, we got about 2
last 2 minutes. Any thoughts?
Yep. If anybody has any quick questions, comments, if you want to fuss at us, you got about a minute and a half to do it before we get on out of here for the week.
I'll remind that we are working on making the show better for everybody. So if you have suggestions, comments, good or especially bad, let us know so we can consider changing things. You think my lighting's horrible? You hate my background? Let me know. I'll do something about it. Jeremy's using a green screen. I think it looks cool. If you hate it, let us know. We're trying to build viewers. So if all of y'all hate it, why would we keep doing it?
Right. Yeah, exactly. We want this to grow. We want this to reach as many viewers as possible, which is one of the main reasons why we're trying to stick with the YouTube vertical platform.
John's here, but it's nap time.
Nap time. He's eating his the crawfish of him eating, so nap time now.
Oh man. Can you show up close right, wrong way from crimping leader line? I snell hooks and crimp swivel in, but want demo. We don't have time in the show today, but I know on the Creole Catfishing YouTube channel, we do have a video.
I do. I have a video on that. on exactly step by step how to. It's how to make an entire rig, but I really go into the crimping and all in detail.
And we will do that on this show
absolutely
one
we
day
will.
and probably not that long. But if you want to see it soon, check out you're on Facebook. Through that Facebook, you can get to our YouTube. There's some links. It's Creole Catfishing. We definitely filmed a video and like set the backgrounds where you can really see what he's doing, making a bunch of different rigs.
Right. Yeah, I do have. But yeah, we need to. We'll definitely do that on a show one day. We'll go through some some next level rigging. We'll throw the crimps in there and throw, kind of show some cool stuff. We can definitely do that.
Well, that'll do it for this week. Thank everybody so much for coming in and for the comments. And what's the best type of snell to tie? A lot of people here are using the no knot snell if you go to look it up, but we will get more into that later.
That's me. That's mine. It's easy.
Whatever works for the line you're using. There's a bunch of snells and a lot of them are good. But Jeremy?
Well, that's it, folks. I appreciate y'all coming. We don't know what next week's show is gonna be just yet, but I promise y'all it's gonna be a good one. We're gonna do our best. But until then,
if there's something y'all really want to see, holler at us. It might be crimping if nobody else has an idea.
Holler at us. And until